I remember when I was 9 years old, I was crossing a street in Manhattan, I think going to dance class, and I had to stop in the middle of the street because suddenly a realization overwhelmed me. After death, there's nothing. There's no heaven, there is no hell, there is just nothing. It was frightening both ways because it stopped traffic and because I realized what I thought was an essential truth, that nothing happened after death. My name is Judy Bachrach, and I'm the author of Glimpsing Heaven. Okay, when National Geographic asked me to write this book, they said, "We'd like you to write about near-death experiences." Well, I told National Geographic this right away. I didn't believe in any of it. I didn't believe in near-death experiences. I didn't believe in anything. So they said, well, research it, find out, come back to us. So I did, and the more research I did, the more I realized there's a lot to this. If the heart stops beating and there seems to be no brain activity, that person, according to doctors, is dead. CPR has changed our world forever. More and more we're learning how to bring back the dead. The question is, why is that person feeling when she comes back or he comes back that she's been places those people were dead and yet they had experiences? And that's why I call them death travelers, because they go places none of the living ever go to.
I was deceased twice. Once for about 45 minutes, was revived, and I was deceased again for about 10 minutes and was revived. March 22nd, my son dropped me off at the airport. We said our goodbyes. I wasn't feeling good. Got on the airplane, boarded. As I was putting stuff in the overhead bin, I dropped dead of a massive heart attack. And I can't tell you what happened to me physically from that point on, but I gravitated into a light. It was total peace. Everything was beautiful. There were colors that don't exist on this earth. I was in front of, it was a higher power. I could not even look. I was asked a question, what good have I done in my life? And the next thing I know, I had this life review. And it started from the day I was conceived all the way until the day that I died. As I saw myself in every life situation, I could understand the feelings and emotions of the people that I was interacting with and what they perceived and thought of me personally. I thought of it as a reckoning. One of the highlights that I didn't even know existed was the fact I was playing Pony League. I was 13 years old. Somebody hit a fly ball. I kept running and running and running. I stuck out my hand and the ball went into my mitt. I didn't know my father, who was in the stands, was saying, "That's my son." I was really proud. It was just like a real touching moment, and I'm getting that way right now as I'm talking about it. Where I went, and where those of us that have had near-death experiences that have gone, there's no videos, there's no cameras. It's just our account of what happened.
In 1982, a poll was taken, and the odd question was asked, did you have a near-death experience? 8 million Americans said they'd had one. Now that's a huge number. Most of those death travelers who come back from the dead don't tell anyone about it. They know what the reaction of their relatives and friends will be. They know they'll be mocked and scorned. Oh, you were sick. Oh, you were hallucinating. Well, when your heart stops and there's no brain activity and there's no oxygen entering your body, you cannot hallucinate. It's not possible. So that is a mystery.
I wasn't aware that my drug addiction would lead to death. I thought that I would probably pass out before I would die. So I thought I was one step ahead of this illness, being addicted to drugs. So what happened was I was hosting a one-man party in the back of my truck. I had a camper shell and I had copious amounts of alcohol. I got interrupted by the local authorities. They saw it fit to tase me, and my heart couldn't make up its mind what to do, so it stopped. I said, well, and it stopped more than once. It stopped 3 times. Right here. Oh my God. Amazing. Oh, this is where my truck was when I got out of the hospital. It's not like something you can train for or that you sidestep or you have a brush with death. You actually are clinically flat, cold, dead. And your spirit leaves your body. It opened up kind of like a scene from a movie where it faded in and music, soft music, but joyful music, and that feeling like Christmas, like the feeling of falling in love, like the feeling was so pure, and it was so great to be there in the throne room. I knew that I must be in heaven because there was Jesus, and to see my grandmother and my sister who I miss so much, they were there.
I got to relive all the good things and all the bad things, and those things in between. I saw myself as a policeman. I was working down in Watts, and one night we were arresting somebody, and I heard some gunshots go off, and everybody was on edge. It was like being in a war zone. It really was. And I saw this guy running towards me with a rifle, and I yelled at him to halt. He just kept running. Instinct kicked in. I didn't draw down on him. He told me that somebody had just robbed him and he had fired some warning shots. When I saw that part of my life review, I heard a voice say, "Thank you for not shooting me." Holy cow.
And Jesus, he was smiling when he was talking to me. And he was saying, you're not going to remember everything we talked about here, but it's time for you to go back. And with the time that I'm giving you, you'll remember these 3 things. You don't remember everything we talked about, but you remember life after death is real, I'm real, and I don't send people to hell. People choose that. Now go back. Just as I was standing in the light, as I fell away, it was like I was falling through fog or clouds. And as I fell away, the light got smaller and smaller until, you ever get punched in your back where it knocks the wind out of you? That was my back hitting the gurney. I hit the gurney and my eyes opened up to the doctor flashing his light in my eyes. And he said, wake up.
I kind of envy them, all of them, because I haven't had it. And they've had something that I consider special. Maybe it's something that we will all have when we die. It's certainly a possibility.
My life review has been a reckoning for me. It's very difficult to talk about it, but I think I'm supposed to talk about it. Since I've had my near-death experience, I look at life a lot differently. I have gotten more spiritual. I think I'm more compassionate. What you do on this earth makes a difference. I wake up every morning, 4,411 extra days of life. How blessed is that?
How you doing?
Fine, yourself?
All right, all right.
What was I after? I was after wanting to escape. And now I have hope, I have a purpose, and I have direction, and I don't want to escape anymore. My primary purpose is to stay sober and to help other alcoholics achieve sobriety. I can't keep them sober, but I can share my experience. I can't take credit for bringing myself back from the dead, and I can't take credit for keeping myself sober any more than putting that breath of life into me every day, and that gratitude, that heart change that has taken place. I'm just really grateful to be anywhere.
My brother, we'll see you in heaven.
I'm less fearful of death, which used to be my controlling feeling all through my early years. I'm less fearful of what may lie ahead. We all have something we might look forward to.